Why play Gragas Jungle? Well, he brings amazing engage and disengage. He is surprisingly mobile, he's naturally tanky, and he deals massive amounts of burst damage. However, his abilities are mostly skill shots, so he can struggle against high mobility, and he can get kited, especially if his dash gets interrupted. Gragas' passive is whenever he uses an ability, he drinks from his barrel, restoring a decent chunk of his maximum health, and this can be triggered once every 8 seconds. Gragas' Q throws out a barrel which creates a circle on the floor. You can reactivate Q to detonate the barrel early, or after 4 seconds it will automatically detonate, dealing damage to and slowing all enemies hit. Both the damage and the slow increase in strength the longer the barrel was out for. Gragas' W makes him drink from his barrel, which reduces damage taken by a set amount for 2.5 seconds. After finishing his drink, his next attack deals a large amount of maximum health damage. Gragas' E is a straight line skill shot which dashes Gragas forward, causing him to collide with the first enemy hit. This will then knock up and damage all nearby enemies, and in addition, Gragas will automatically start attacking the enemy hit. If this ability hits an enemy, the cooldown is lowered by 3 seconds. In addition, the ability has 2 indicators. The longer one is where the damage and knock up is applied, and the shorter one is where Gragas will travel to. Gragas' ultimate is a skill shot which deals massive damage and knocks all enemies away from the center of the ability. For combos, your main trade is to use W and then go in with E, and while dashing, use your Q. Follow up with an auto attack and then detonate your Q as late as possible for maximum damage. A great engage combo is to use W and then use E from far away. While dashing, use Q and then flash on your opponent for a very surprising engage, before attacking and detonating your Q using ultimate as needed. And if a champion ever gets close to a tower, use W and then go in with E. Don't wait for the auto attack before using your ultimate to knock them under the tower and then follow up with the Q and auto attack. If you do go for the auto attack after the E, this gives them a chance to dash or flash out of it. For matchups, Gragas does great into tanky engage junglers, between his disengage making their engage far worse, and the amount of maximum health damage he can bring. However, he can struggle against hyper carries who will simply cut through him. For runes take this, Dark Harvest enhances your burst. For build orders, start Blue Monster and Pot into a Night Harvester in tier 2 boots. After this, a Shadow Flame and Zhonya's are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill orders, start W then Q then E before maxing Q then E then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, you almost always simply want to do a full clear. Between your AoE damage and your passive healing you over and over again, you clear the jungle incredibly fast with incredible amounts of health remaining. This allows you to finish your clear in time for Scuttlecrab spawning and puts you in an incredibly strong position to fight for it if needed. After this, you can either look for a gank, or if there are no options available, you can either look to counter gank or simply back and complete your next clear. When ganking, as always, consider the 3 main points of what CC does your team bring, what escapes does the enemy have, and where is the lane push to. And when ganking, if you can get into the fight without using your E, you'll be in an incredibly strong position. As if you can simply walk up and use W and Q, it means if they flash or dash away, you can easily get back onto them with your E. But of course, if there's no other way, go in with your E and get your damage out. And of course, when you hit level 6, your ganks are now incredible. If you land an E, make sure you don't wait for that auto attack and then knock them into your team. Entering the mid game, you are the jungler, so your main focus is going to be on objectives. Look for easy picks, launch them into your team, and then convert for easy objectives. Entering late game team fights, you want to play as your teams engage. Going in with E before using your ultimate to throw half their team towards your team and half their team away is a great way to start any fight. From here, throw out your Q and then use your empowered W attack, and then either chase down kills or kite for your cooldown so you have your full burst combo again.